Hey, it's Clay. Welcome to another video. This could be another episode of Film School. In most other professions, sports, or almost anything else, you have review. If you play football, you watch film. If you play basketball, you watch film. If you're in business, you have reviews where people look over the work that you have done. I think it's a pretty critical part of improvement, and so I'd like to do the same thing here. We're going to do Valorant Film School. This is a round from Shroud. It's kind of an average round that he pulled, and I wanted to observe and take a look at how he implements some of the core basic fundamental concepts that we've been talking about so far in my guides series. So talking about things like crosshair placement, clearing angles, I think he just does such an excellent job. Now this is a pretty average round from Shroud, who's solo queuing, and I think that there's nothing particularly unique or special about this that he does that you guys cannot do. You know, I think sometimes you watch some of these guys and they do things that are pretty amazing, but in this situation, I definitely think this is something that anyone can implement. So, just for some context, we're in kind of middle here. There's some utility that's been used. It's 4 versus 3, and they are down by a couple rounds. So let's go ahead and watch this clip play out. See, they're trading some utility. Now he's going to push it in advance. Okay, so that was the clip. A pretty straightforward clip. In the end, he ends up getting 1 kill. So what I really want to do now is to take it in slow motion, and let's go ahead and analyze in some depth and detail exactly what he's doing. So first thing I want to note is, as he peeks around this angle here, I think this is interesting. First of all, he's making good use of this brimstone smoke so that he knows that he does not need to be concerned or aware about anyone that is over here that would peek out in this kind of mail room, I believe is the call out that we use. So anybody that's in here on the minimap, over here, kind of playing up in heaven, looking down this way, he does not need to be concerned about any of them. Next thing that I also think is very interesting, if you look kind of where he's peeking right here, his line of sight is straight on right here. And so really all he needs to be concerned about is if there's someone standing right here that would peek around this way, which I think is a very subtle detail. But if he had peeked over here, he not only would expose himself to this person on this angle, but he would also expose himself to someone here in heaven, or in vents. So just a very subtle little thing, but it really, I think, makes a difference how he's limiting his exposure to, he's really only exposing himself to one enemy position at a time, which I think is a really powerful thing to be doing. So as he moves forward, again, hugging this wall. Now, this is the first kind of peek. Now, this was just a walk peek. But again, if you take a look at his crosshair placement here, he's right at about head level. So just an excellent little small detail that he's always got himself prepared at head level, ready for the headshots. Now, that was a tiny little, let's go ahead and watch that back, kind of frame by frame here. So as he decides to peek, interesting note how he places his crosshair here on the wall. So he's basically pre-aiming the peek, right? Because he thinks there might be someone around the corner in that little cubby. So what he doesn't do is put his crosshair here and then turn as he's tracking. No, he kind of pre-aims crosshair here. And let's watch that play out. And now see in this position, he's right here. He's got his crosshair is not over here, and then he turns with it. No, instead he pre-aims the crosshair right here, and pre-aim starts. So he's already firing here. As the time he's coming around the corner, bam. His crosshair is in absolutely perfect headshot position. If there was a guy here, he'd be on his dome, and right there, that would be the killing headshot. Now, there's nobody there, so now his smoke is cleared. So now he's got to be a little cautious about someone from heaven. So now the first thing he does is get his crosshair up. You could see it for a split second right here. Another just tiny little example. This is happening in the course of single frames. But if there is someone back here that would peek out right this way, he's ready for them with his crosshair placement. And again, as he moves in here into vents, just in case there's someone here on this little angle, clearing all of his angles. And then again, another example, in case there's someone here on this side. So at this point, he is checked pretty much every angle. Remember, he started down here on the minimap. He checked this angle. He checked this angle. He moved up. He pre-fired. He looked down this angle. Then as he came in, he checked this corner, and now he's checked this corner. So he's basically systematically going through this part of the map to find enemies. So now, I want to watch this last section in even slower motion, because to me, this is the place where crosshair placement really shines. Let's watch that back again. The big thing I want to notice is this. Right here, you can see, this is the first moment that the enemy appears on his screen, and look at where his crosshair is. It is literally right on the enemy's head. This has happened even faster than his brain has realized and has told him to shoot. And as we continue to let it play out, he's just tracking. Now this is maybe the first split moment where he has lost perfect aim on the enemy's head. But he makes a little adjustment, and he still hasn't even realized yet that there's an enemy here. And now he turns and flips and fires and gets the kill. So this, I think, is a really fascinating example, because again, he's basically letting his muscle memory of good crosshair placement initiate the fight. And then once his brain sees the target and reacts, he's already put himself in a strong position. And it's even to the point here where with this last little couple of frames where you can see that he is, like I said, his muscle memory has put himself in perfect position to get the kill. And actually his reaction and his cognitive thought was a little bit behind and a little bit delayed. But that's the importance and the power of good crosshair placement, is that you give your active mental energy the best possible chance that once you see the target and react, that you are already in as close to as good a position as you possibly can be to get the kill. Hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. If you have some other players that you want me to go through, other rounds you want me to go through, please feel free to send them to me. I'll have an email link down in the description below for everyone to send in questions. And I really appreciate you guys' time. Hope you see you again soon. Thanks. Bye.